Hi everybody, this is Mrs. Vargas and we are reviewing some of the elements of a short story. The beginning of a story is known as the exposition. The exposition introduces the setting and the main characters. Where the story takes place is called the setting. The setting is defined as the time and place a story occurs. The time can be as specific as 9 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday in December, or as general as a long time ago. The place a story occurs can be just as general or specific. The important thing to remember when identifying the setting is making sure to include time and place. Time and place. T and P. TP. A story needs to revolve around a main character. We call him the protagonist. The protagonist is usually the good guy, although if the story is about a bad guy, then he'd be the protagonist. There can be lots of main characters in a story, but usually only one is considered the protagonist. For every protagonist, there's gotta be a bad guy. We call him the antagonist. The antagonist is the character or force that acts against the protagonist. Depending on the type of conflict in the story, the antagonist could be another character, some aspect of society, nature, or something within the protagonist that holds him back, like jealousy, insecurity, or greed. If a story is going to be considered a plot, it needs to have some kind of conflict. The point at which the conflict is introduced begins the rising action. During the rising action, the result is taken through a series of events that work towards their climax. There may even be subplots developed, which are smaller stories that occur around the main story. There are several different aspects of conflict, or several different types of conflict, including man versus man, man versus nature, man versus self, and man versus society. Sometimes there are more than one antagonist in a story, representing more than one type of conflict. The most exciting point in the story is known as the climax. It's the point at which the conflict is resolved. It's the scene where the boy finally gets the date with the girl. Aww. Batman finally beats the Joker. Or Superman finally catches Jaws. What? The two stages of the denouement are known as the falling action, where all the subplots of the story are wrapped up, with the last stage of plot development being the resolution. The resolution is how the story ends. It's the happily ever after. So now you should be able to identify setting, protagonist, antagonist, 4 different types of conflict, and the 5 stages of plot development.